What's up, everybody? Welcome to Studio Wesley Live, our weekly hangout for community and connection in the Studio Wesley community. Okay, I really wish I could start over, but I can't because we are live. Hope everybody's doing good. Really excited about tonight's hangout. So let's start with some introductions. Let me start with Allison. How you doing? What are you drinking tonight?
I'm okay. I'm really tired and I don't know why. And I also, upon you asking this question, realized that I have no drink. Wait, no, I win. Water bottle. I'm drinking water.
Always, always. Stay hydrated. Good to see you, Allison. Neil, how's it going? What are you drinking?
Hi there. I am drinking both water and whiskey.
Okay. Somebody is going all the way in. I see you. Yes.
Someone has to.
So glad you're here tonight, Neil. So glad. Great. How's it going? What are you drinking?
Hi, it's going well. Are we surprised that I'm once again drinking Coca-Cola? This is the orange cream Coke. It's in a little Yeti, so it's gonna stay cold for me. No, this way. It's good. It's good. Let's get us some like ASMR going on, but it's great. I love it.
The ding was like right on time.
And I will say I am drinking this in line with the United Methodist Social Principle Guidelines. So
thank you. As we all are drinking responsibly, whatever we happen to be drinking. And I am drinking, it's actually called English afternoon tea. I don't believe that it really exists. Like my British friends, when you say afternoon tea, they're like, you're having tea in the afternoon. It's like, no, it's actually called English afternoon tea. It's like, there's English breakfast tea. I know, but the package calls it English afternoon tea. And they're like, Americans. Like, yes, you're right, Americans. So my English afternoon tea, I'm enjoying myself. So beautiful. So excited. Good show. So let's go into our regular segment, highlight of the week. Let's go. Beautiful. All right. Allison, love to hear your highlight for this week.
Yeah, I had kind of a long week, and so I had a hard time finding a highlight. But I remembered that if there's one thing I'm known for in my sibling group, it's for loving Super Mario Galaxy. And Nintendo Direct had like here's all the things that's happening in the Nintendo world this past week. And I wasn't watching it, but one of my brothers started texting me about it because they are talking about the Super Mario Galaxy movie and it's being released in April 2026. And I just love Super Mario Galaxy. The only downside to it is, and this is a hot take, I don't like Jack Black, and they're bringing back the original cast. But that's fine. I can overlook that for the fact that I get a Super Mario Galaxy movie, and because it's one of my favorite games in the entire world. I'll take it.
I'm not gonna lie, this would not be my highlight for the week just because I'm not into like video game movies. I'm not into video games. I'm not into games. But I have to say that I have deep appreciation for Super Mario Brothers. It was the first video game that I played as a wee little lad. And so I'm giving you some hand claps on your highlight of the week, Al. So thank you for bringing it to the table. So yeah, highlight of the week. Neil, what's your highlight for this week?
Hello. I had also had a very long week, but the coolest thing I did, so for context for people, I work at a distillery in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm a bartender there. We did a collaboration with a cidery and restaurant located in northwest Jacksonville called Congaree and Penn. Their chefs came down to downtown Jacksonville distillery, and we had a private event. It was a tasting thing. There was a 5-course, not quite a meal, but like snacks. So 5 courses of little bites with small cocktail pairings to go along with. We sold all tickets, which were capped at 60. And a few other people who worked there, showed up because, we're not going to charge them to go because they work there. And it was just a really great time. Everybody loved it. It was a great event. It was busy, and we're already planning another one for next quarter. And it's just cool to see 2 small local businesses collaborate. Well, neither of us are actually that small, but it's just cool to see local businesses collaborate and do really fun and cool stuff, because I think that's what makes cities and communities beautiful.
Wow. What night was that?
This was 9/11 last Thursday.
Last Thursday.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting. I was in town. I'm surprised I didn't get an invitation. That's interesting. Yeah.
That wasn't my job.
Great. Yeah. It would never, like, why would I expect Neil to invite me to a thing? Like, why would I do that?
Same reason why I don't expect you to check their website and Instagram, Derek.
We need side effects, Michael.
They only advertised it heavily for like weeks. So
I have us covered on side effects. Don't worry.
Thank you, Grace. Thank you, and thank you, Neil. That's a really good highlight. It's a highlight that like makes me have a bit of FOMO. So thank you for that. That's what I needed tonight.
Hey, I'll let you know when the next one's up for sale. So
you're a friend. Thank you, Neil. That's all I really wanted. All right, Grace, highlight of the week.
It's just so funny to me, Derek, because like not even 10 seconds ago, you were like, Neil, you're not a friend. But it's fine. Anyway, in other news.
That was a different subject. Completely different subject.
Okay. In other news. Okay. Well, my highlight of the week is actually related to our later segment. So like everybody hold y'all's horses, but also like get them kind of riled up too. Jade Thirlwall from Little Mix, renowned girl group. They went on like a hiatus. They did not break up, but they went on a hiatus a while ago. And they're all like, they've slowly been releasing their music. But Jade's album just came out 9/11 into 9/12. It's called That's Showbiz Baby. It's so good. I love it. It's very like, I mean, it's very queer coded. She is like such a good ally that you're like, beloved, I trust all of the ways that you've identified yourself, and also you're so welcome in this community at any time. But anyway, it's just a really good album. And it's very like, it's very disco. It's very like, I love it. I'm in love with it. So that's my highlight of the week, because I've been like waiting and waiting and waiting. I've loved them since middle school. So I've just been like waiting for all of them to come out with their own music. It's so good.
Are Jade's pronounced they them?
No.
Okay. I heard they, and so I was trying to like connect like what.
There's 3 different girls in Little Mix. There were 4, but there's some drama with that. So I might have referred to they with Little Mix, but yeah, Jade's great. I mean, she, her in the like identity, but also they, and like she's an enigma that we will never fully comprehend, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Like straight up. Yeah, no, appreciate that. I mean, I need new music to listen to. I need to expand my musical borders and not just listen to John Mayer all day long. You know, like I need probably
not a damn thing wrong with that, Derek. Not a damn thing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying it's good to expand the musical borders a little bit. At my age, it's good to do that. So, Grace,
and we believe in you, Grandpa.
That was a compliment. My highlight for this week actually leans deeper into the grandpa kind of motif there. My highlight of this week is that the great movie Downton Abbey, the grand finale, came out this weekend, and I have been anticipating this movie because it's literally one of maybe 4 movies that will be essential viewing this year. And so yes, Downton Abbey. If you want to be a good friend to Derek, I would suggest you figure out how you're going to watch this movie, because gosh, it was gorgeous, y'all. I went on Friday night to go see it, and it just was beautiful. I give God praise for it. And just the way that it just sort of closed the loop on some things, and it's opened a few new loops, I'll be honest, but so good. Like just good, wholesome. I could take my mom to see it, but I could take my students to see it too. And if y'all didn't know, me and Downton Abbey, Allison, you were gonna make a comment, so I want to invite you. Yes.
It's okay. I was just trying to get a reaction out of you. So if you want to finish your thought and then I'll go, I can, or I can just go for it.
Yeah, I say just go for it because I can do this all day. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, what would you say to me right now on live for the world to see if I told you I've never seen a single second of anything Downton Abbey?
Yeah, I would
Same.
say.
Same.
Yeah. Neil, you there too?
Yeah, buddy.
Oh my gosh. My internal thought is I've been a horrible campus minister,
Derek,
and I will be held accountable.
this is your 30-second elevator like evangelism pitch.
Okay, I'm not good at 30-second elevator pitches, and I'm a horrible evangelist. So I'll just say Downton Abbey is the kind of show that really helps us think about our roles and what the role we play in this world, and like the roles that we just sort of are born into, and the roles that we like emerge into, that we and how do we play those roles well. And sometimes that means that you're the villain in the story. Like, how do you just own that, like, yeah, I'm the person that everybody's going to hate in this story, and so I'm just going to go in. And then you have these moments of redemption, or you have these moments of challenge. You have these moments where you need to move forward. You need to, sometimes you are the comic. You are the comic relief of the moment. And Downton Abbey is just classic for this. And every role matters. Every single role matters. And everybody's playing their role like they know that their roles matter. There's not a single throwaway role in Downton Abbey. Even though they may not even have a line, there's not a single person in Downton Abbey that, like, whatever, like they don't belong here. No, everybody's role matters, and everybody's leaning into their roles so beautifully. So yes, that's why I don't think that was 30 seconds, but I did my best. So those were the highlights for this week. I enjoyed them. I've got a movie. I've got an event that hopefully next time I'll get to attend it. I've got new music to work with. And I got another movie that leads to a series and a couple of other movies. And we didn't even talk about The Gilded Age and all of Julian Fellowes' like works. It's okay. So with that, this is great highlights of the week. And we're going to go into our second segment of the night. We're going to Studio Wesley Cafe. All right, friends, Studio Wesley Cafe is our segment of Studio Wesley Live, where one of the members of our panelists brings something artistic to us that is really bringing life to their soul. And tonight, Grace is the person that is going to be sharing tonight. So Grace, I will pass the mic to you.
Thank you for passing me that mic, Derek. And that's the joy of using an external microphone. But yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, Jade came out with an album. She has this like really deep Geordie accent. So every time I say her name, I feel like saying it the way she does and say Jade. Jade just came out with an album. That's Showbiz Baby. And the media that I wanted to talk about tonight is the first song that was released from that actually came out like a year ago at least. But she's just, it's a beautiful piece. It's a beautiful piece of music that is basically this like love letter to her life as a performer, because she's wanted to be a performer for forever. She I don't know if y'all are familiar with the X Factor or like America, it's like American Idol or like America's Got Talent. The X Factor, I think, specifically started off in the UK. It's very Simon Cowell owned and controlled, coded. But she tried out for the X Factor like 3 times, and her 3rd time was finally when she got paired with Little Mix. So anyways, Jade is a performer. She loves it. She was like made for it. But this song called Angel of My Dreams, it's the first song on her album. It's the first song that she came out with by herself, is just this like love letter to that and her livelihood as a performer, and like wanting to be a performer and knowing that that's what she's like destined for. Like that is the angel of her dreams, but also it screws her over so much because like that's Showbiz Baby, title of the album. She said the name of the movie. But it sucks sometimes too, because it's like the industry like sucks everything out of you. There's a couple lines that I wanted to highlight, but first, because I gave y'all a slew of resources for this. I sent you the link to the song itself to listen to, and then she did a Genius interview where she like goes through each of the lines of the song and shares like her feelings about it. And then if y'all had extra time and just like loved me that much, then I also sent you links to the music video and a live performance she did at the Brits, which is so impressive. So I would love to hear anybody's thoughts on it first, and then I'll just like deep dive.
Thanks, Grace. What do you guys think?
Yeah, so I'll go first since I'm like musicy person thing. I really enjoyed the song. I'm always fascinated whenever discussions come around somebody like whether it be they're leaving a group to go do their own thing or they start doing their own thing and then they join a group, right? You know, like whether it be one way or in reverse. And yeah, you know, I mean, obviously, like we've had discussions around people in big bands like going off to do solo stuff for a while, you know, One Direction, you know, solidarity, right? Not mean to break your heart again, Grace, but my bad. But yeah, it's like you know, it's like a lot of those guys like ended up, you know, releasing their own stuff. I mean, all of them have released their own
Yeah, all
album,
five of them. All
post-band.
five of them came out with
All
wonderful music, and we love
yeah,
all of them that are still
yeah,
here with us.
yeah, exactly. And RIP. But you know, it's interesting to see it with, you know, with other bands and stuff as well. I feel like interestingly, it feels like maybe more of a newer phenomenon. Well, actually, no, maybe it isn't because even going back to like the Beatles, right? Like all of them when they broke up, they went off to release their own music as well. Where you know, and it's amazing watching an artist just finally unlatch themselves from this entity that they're part of to say, let me just make stuff that I want to make that I really like. Not that they maybe didn't like, you know, the stuff they were doing before, right? But that's a different energy. It's one thing to write like when you're in a band and you're writing songs, but then sometimes you'll just write songs, but you're like, I don't think this is for that band. So you just are holding on to things going, I don't know what to do with this. So sometimes songs just sit around. And then whenever you do your own thing, you're like, hey, that thing that's been collecting dust on my shelf, that song can finally become real. And other times it's a journey of self-discovery. So I think that single off of Jade's album is pretty cool. She definitely kind of feels like she's doing what she loves, is in her own thing, and I'm excited to listen to the rest of it.
Yeah. Well, and ironically too that you said that she was like after Little Mix had like taken their pause, Jade was in the studio all the time writing, and she was realizing, oh, this is a Little Mix song. This isn't a me song. And she would write these things. She's like, oh my God, like Perry would sound so good on this part. Like Leanne would sound so good on this part. And then she had to pause and she was like, wait, no, I have to fill the whole album, you know? And like there's some freedom in that because she gets to do like, and in the initial article from my highlight, we can see more about that. But like the girls have always been supportive of each other. And so it's really cool seeing them in this like they still have their group chat and they're like, oh my God, like your album's so good. Or they'll send like a link from when they were performing and they're like, we did so good in this one. And it's just really cool to see like that support still exists. Like there wasn't this, again, aside from when the fourth girl, Jessie, left. Cricket sound effect right here. Aside from that, they are so supportive of each other and like so encouraging and joyful. And so I don't know. It's cool to see like it's just cool to see them succeed. But if we want to get a little bit more into the like artistic works of the song, Ray, just like a quick show of hands, did anybody end up watching the videos?
I watched the 10-minute thing.
Yay.
Because that's what I was gonna like bring in when I was talking about it, but I didn't watch past that.
No, yeah. What do you think about that then?
So I listened to the song first, and I don't know that I like pulled out of the song what I should have immediately. And then I watched the breakdown, and honestly, she's kind of brilliant. Like,
right?
I watched the breakdown, and then I went back and listened to the song again. And when I listen to the song for things like this, I always have the lyrics in front of me to make sure I know what they're saying. And so like breaking it down after the actual like breakdown. She's kind of brilliant for all the ways that everything intertwines. And it's one of those songs where I feel like it applies to so many things. Like, we know now specifically that she's talking about her ties to the music industry and her career and all the things, all of her dreams, but it has so many other ties, which is why I don't think I zeroed in on that right away. And then once I realized like where she was going with it, like I have it pulled up on my phone because I was looking at it again. But I mean, it's so many pieces, like even like, I can't remember what it is, but there's a line about like, she said something like people were saying that she's lucky, and that she better act like it or something like that.
Yeah. So in the first verse, it says, which is also a line that I was going to comment on. So I'm glad that this also popped out to you. But she's saying, selling my soul to a psycho. They say I'm so lucky. Better act like you're lucky, honey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so it was even lines like that where it's like, it really makes you think more about like the music industry and all those people we see as icons and all of these like little pieces of all of those things. And just the ways that, so sorry, I don't know if you can hear the dog bark, but it really made me lose my train of thought for a second there.
No, we're glad that he's with us.
Yeah. And no, back to Jade. I just feel like there are a lot of things highlighted within this song that we don't always think about when it comes to the music industry or performers or icons or people who live in the spotlight.
Well, and she does such a good job of like you're saying too, just each line, like so good at just like one little, like before you understand what it means, seems like a throwaway, but then she gives this whole explanation and it's so good. So just a quick for the chorus of the song so that we're all familiar and all of our viewers are familiar. She says, "Angel of my dreams, I will always love you and hate you. It's not fair. It's so bittersweet. I will always want you and need you. You don't care. Love when you call me a star. You let me down in the dark. I want you. I need you. You don't care. And it's not fair." And so, Allison, similarly, I did not pick up on this until I saw her explanation of the song. And I was like, she's in a really wonderful relationship. Like her man loves her so well. So how is like, this can't be a romantic relationship song, you know? But then I like couldn't put two and two together. But she does a really beautiful job of seeing, like in the videos, either in the live performance, which it's like a 5-minute performance and it's an entire movie. So she is not only like a musician and a writer, she is such a performer. So watch this in your free time. But the line that I really want to highlight that's kind of like sneaky, and this is all alleged. This is all super alleged and not official at all. This is so alleged and just like thoughts around it and not evidence or proof of any matter. "Selling my soul to a psycho." It's spelled Psycho. However, Simon Cowell of The X Factor, of a lot of really popular and highly overworked young people in the music industry, Simon Cowell owns Psycho Records, SYCO, that Little Mix was signed under, or like Modest Management, that Little Mix and One Direction were under. So it's just an interesting line how Jade Thirlwall and other folks might sell their soul to a psycho. Again, they're spelled differently. And these are only alleged thoughts. But I just find it kind of interesting. It's just kind of interesting.
Okay, Grace. So I gotta, this is both what I realized as I was watching the music video and sort of the confession of what was happening in my brain while I was watching this music video. Because at first I was like, when you sent the links, I was like, there's so many links. What's going on? What are we doing? I don't know if I've sectioned off enough time for to really do this well. And I didn't get to all of it. I did not get to all of it because I didn't. And as we were starting, as I was starting to watch the live performance at the Brits, one of the comments comes up is like, she made a whole movie. Okay. And here's what happened inside of Derek's 45-year-old head. Okay. Derek said to himself, why these young people got to do the most? Why are they always doing the most? And within seconds, I was taken back to my late teens and being in theater performances where I'm literally doing the most. And I'm putting like all of this life energy into like this one character, this one scene, this one time. And like almost in about a 10-second span of time, I go from like old cynical to deeply nostalgic as I'm watching this thing happen. And just and all of and then finding out, I did find that I did get the sort of memo that this is not really about a romantic relationship. It's a relationship with the industry. And I think there's something there's a privilege in being able to share your experience of anything, and not just share it, but people see it and take it in. There's something so great about that. And I left at the end. By the time I got to the end of the video, I was cheering for Jade, because I was like, Jed, sorry. Jed? Is that what I was going to say? Jed?
Jade.
Sorry.
You can just say Jade, but Jade.
I'll just say Jade. Jade. Because I'm uncle now, right? So I get to just make these mistakes, and we just say, "Oh, he's old. He's
You're
dead."
Unk.
But Unk, yeah. Sorry, Unk. See, I don't even. All I'd say, I really, even though I had these moments of like, "Why y'all doing the most?" Doing the most, and gosh, we get to pay attention. We get the privilege of paying attention, and so thank you for that.
Well, and like she's doing the most because she has a bunch to say. And like you're saying too, with like the privilege of it, like she busted her butt, as did the Little Mix girls, as do so many, and any sort of content creator that we consume, right? They're busting their butts. And like some people have like a better like work-life balance now too. Like Hosier will just write music, and Hosier released a bunch of the same album over and over and over, right? But like then disappears into the woods for 20 years and has the best time ever, and then comes back. Or like Harry Styles now, who was completely overworked. One Direction was recording all these albums, and then now One Direction was like recording these albums while they were touring. So they were touring, putting on entire shows, recording the albums overnight in makeshift recording studios. Are they eating? Are they sleeping? They're not living. They're not really like living their lives, right? And now Harry just like goes off to some country for a while, does a bunch of his own art, has a great time, does a couple marathons and like cycling events, went to see the Pope. And then at some point he'll write music again, hopefully, maybe. We beg.
Happy birthday, Pope Leo.
Happy birthday, Pope Leo.
Yeah.
And welcome, blessed Saint Carlos or Carlo.
Right. Okay, off topic.
This is so off topic, but like still like getting to celebrate people when we hear their stories. So it's, I don't know. I love this song, and I'm so glad that I got to talk about it and yap about it, because it's like it is this bittersweet thing of like I am exhausted, and it makes me think of like the work that your soul needs. I think is the line, like, what is the work that your soul needs? And like for me, the work that my soul needs is also the work that is really exhausting. And so it's like, I do love when you call me a star, and it is going to let me down in the dark, and I love it, and I need it, and it is what it is.
Wow. Great. Thank you for bringing. Okay, Neil. Go ahead, Neil.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just going to say what Grace was saying reminded me of a song from one of my favorite bands at the moment. I'll try to make this quick. The band is Gang of Youths, and it's a song off of their most recent record, which came out, 2022, called Returner. And the song is basically about how the lead singer, the front man, the songwriter, after his father passed away, as opposed to like kind of dealing with it and coping with it, he just went on tour and played 21 straight shows without a break in the middle. He just like kind of dove into his work and just kind of like avoided all of it. And the song, features some like, he's got some facetious, like kind of jokey lines where he's like, I'm only in it for the money. I'm only in it for the change, but then he has these very like poignant things where it's like, nothing feels right or quite the same. It's great at the start, but in the end, at the heart, it's a job and a choice that I made straight into darkness the day after armistice. Like it's this whole thing where it's like poignant lyrics about grief interspersed with like loud she's like, it's like, so
Love it.
similar to what Grace was saying.
Yeah. I think there's a saying, art imitates life, but I actually think art helps us process life. And I think that's one of the ways that it's so powerful. So again, Grace, thank you for bringing that incredible piece to us. That was Angel of My Dreams by Jade. Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Jade. Just pretend you're Irish, man. Damn it.
Derek, I'll send you a video later. The Little Mix fans have done the best compilation of both Jade, and Perry it's just the best of their accents.
Okay, let's go with that. Let's go. And so friends, we are now going to take a moment for a soul break to let all of this beautiful dialogue settle, and then we'll come back in a moment. Beautiful. So Studio Wesley is partnered with a ministry called Kansas City Wesley Foundation. And actually all three of these beautiful people on the panel have been connected to that ministry. And in Kansas City, we are walking slowly through the Gospel of John. This coming week, we're reading through John 3 and 4. And so a lot of my thoughts and reflections are really kind of rooted in that space right now. And so I'm going to share a little bit from there real quick. John chapter 3, we hear we're introduced to this character named Nicodemus. He's a Pharisee, religious leader in Jesus' day. He's got status, he's got position, and he's got questions. And he comes to Jesus in the middle of the night, in the evening, with his deep questions about spirituality. And I think if we were there, these questions probably go from spiritual questions to like questions about just like the world and all of the things. Some people have an issue with Nicodemus. They feel like him coming to Jesus at night is him hiding. And that may be true based on the world that he lives in, not being completely comfortable asking his questions. But one of the things that I really appreciate about this story is that Nicodemus doesn't hold on to his questions. Nicodemus brings his questions to someone who can receive them genuinely. And I want to acknowledge that this week has been hard and heavy for a lot of people in the United States specifically, but outside the United States, it's been hard and heavy for lots of other reasons. I mean, sometimes us US folks, we get very US centric because we're US people, but there's stuff when we still have a war going on in Gaza. We have the war in Ukraine. We have the war going on in multiple parts of the continent of Africa. We've got all kinds of stuff happening around Venezuela. There's just a lot of things going on in the world right now, right? And so any of us in any space, it's valid to say we've got these deep questions. And many of those questions are probably spiritual. And a lot of those questions probably then just go to what the heck is happening in this world. And what I want to say is that bringing those questions to the table is a sign of intellectual and emotional and spiritual strength. It is not weakness to have the questions, and it is not weakness to bring those questions to people that you trust. And I want to say that sometimes I think we are given the impression that if you're going to be an adult, you must know all the things. You can't have any questions. And I think automatically somebody's like, well, no, that's not what it means to be an adult. Like adults have questions too. And yet I think adults don't take enough time to ask their questions. I don't think adults actually take seriously the space that they need to articulate their questions, let their questions just land. Sometimes they'll land without any answers, just to let their questions be valid because they come out of this human. And then to possibly bring those questions to someone that they trust so that they can get addressed. And so what I want to encourage everyone tonight, but especially the college-age young adults who are connected to Studio Wesley, I just want to say your questions matter. Your longings, your curiosities, your wonderings, your confusions, all of that matter. And all of it is a sign of strength. All of that is a sign that you're actually living truly in a confusing and chaotic world. I heard someone say that if you are not confused right now, you are not paying attention. And y'all, a lot of us are confused right now. A lot of us have questions. And so I want to invite us. I mean, I always want you to read scripture, and I definitely want you to go and read John 3 in one sitting. It'll be beautiful. And if you really want to be scrappy, just read all of John, starting at chapter 1, go all the way to chapter 4. Anyway, I want to invite you definitely in the spirit of John chapter 3. Be Nicodemus, whether it's in the middle of the night or middle of the day. Take your questions, bring them full chest, 10 toes down, bring every question you've got to people that you trust, because that is a sign that you are actually living in reality. That's a sign of your strength in this moment. And so with that, I want to thank my panel for another great Studio Wesley Live. Allison and Neil and Grace. I want to especially thank Grace for bringing such a beautiful and intriguing art piece to us from Jade. And really, really just grateful for this night. Thanks for all those who are watching, whether you watch live or later on in the week. And hey, if you want to be connected to Studio Wesley and you're like, I'm not really connected, drop us a DM, drop us a message, let us know. We would love to connect you to some of the community groups and other spaces that we're cultivating for college-age young adults. And with that, friends, remember that you are deeply loved by God and nothing could ever separate you from God's love. Have a great night. We'll see you next week at 6 p.m. for Studio Wesley Live. Good night.